Good morning, friends. It's Friday, the 28th of February, 2025, and it's time for your news from DinarRecaps.com. Ripple Labs has signed a strategic partnership with South Korean custodian BDAX to offer institutional-grade custody for XRP, Ripple USD, RLUSD, and other crypto assets. This collaboration, announced on February 26th, aims to integrate Ripple Custody's solution to enhance security for financial institutions in South Korea. Ripple's president, Monica Long, emphasized the growing interest in institutional crypto adoption in South Korea. The partnership aligns with regulatory requirements set by South Korea's Financial Services Commission and is expected to expand the XRPL developer ecosystem. Additionally, Ripple anticipates that total custodied cryptocurrencies could reach $16 trillion by 2030. Moreover, Ripple has outlined future developments for the XRP ledger, XRPL, aimed at enhancing institutional decentralized finance, DeFi. Key features will include expanded compliance functions, a new lending protocol, the introduction of multi-purpose tokens, MPTs, a permissioned decentralized exchange, DEX, and credentialing systems to facilitate secure trading. These innovations aim to improve programmability, streamline onboarding, and reinforce XRPL's position in regulated on-chain finance. And that ends this report. The governor of the Central Bank of Iraq, Ali al-Alak, announced the establishment of a digital currency aimed at gradually replacing paper currency. During a recent conference, al-Alak highlighted significant achievements in financial inclusion, noting that approximately 17 million bank cards have been issued, increasing financial inclusion to over 40%. He emphasized the central bank's efforts to support digital banking, including a rise in the number of electronic wallets to 1.2 million. Additionally, Raffidain Bank reaffirmed its commitment to developing the financial sector and enhancing digital transformation. Meanwhile, the Iraqi Private Banks Association introduced a project to facilitate electronic financial transfers within the country through an open banking system. And that ends this report. Note: all intel should be considered as rumors until we receive official announcements, and rates and dates could change anytime until we get to the bank's redemption centers. RV excerpts from the Restored Republic via GCR, update as of Thursday, 27 February 2025, compiled by Judy Byington, outline significant events. Before his assassination in 1865, President Kennedy made an executive order to dissolve the privately owned Federal Reserve, which was found by a Doge audit to be still valid and stealing U.S. taxpayer monies. On February 26th of 2025, the IRS announced the closure of over 120 offices nationwide and significant layoffs, following a public vote for an audit, indicating rapid changes in response to public demand. A statement noted that President Kennedy's executive order for financial reform remains in effect. The 2025 revolution led by former President Trump mentions Nasara, Jisara, and the introduction of the gold-backed Renminbi dollar as pivotal in transforming the global economy. The Quantum Financial System, QFS, allegedly went live on Monday, 24 February 2025, marking a significant shift in financial operations and claiming to track elite activities in real time while ensuring security from fraud. Reports suggested banks are experiencing glitches, which are seen as intentional disruptions uncovering fraud and inflation, while governments prepare for a global currency reset. Military oversight is ensuring the QFS's integrity, preventing a return to cabal control. Commentary from financial analysts, including Frank 26 and Mario Ineco, suggests an imminent new exchange rate linked to oil security, alongside anticipated surges in gold prices tied to a looming monetary reset by 2027. And that ends this report. In a recent update by Mark Z, he shared that participants in a call were discussing various financial topics and updates related to the RV and bond processing. Members noted the significance of the upcoming date, March 4, 2025, when a major announcement is expected from the president. Mark Z confirmed receiving multiple confirmations regarding individuals holding positions in the bond queue. He expressed hope for a clearer timeline shortly, while also reaching out to wealth managers for updates. There was speculation among members suggesting the possibility of revaluation announcements and discussions around Iraq's economic moves, including a double taxation agreement with Switzerland and progress in digital transformation within their banking sector. Furthermore, The group touched on the status of the IRS and potential tax changes under President Trump. Mark Z cautioned that the content of the call should be viewed as his opinion and not as professional advice. And that ends this report. Zimbabwe's gold-backed currency, the Zimbabwe Gold ZiG, was introduced on April 8, 2024, to address currency instability, but has suffered severe depreciation, losing nearly half its value within a year. The Reserve Bank's mismanagement, lack of convertibility into gold, and inflationary policies contributed to its failure. The currency's initial exchange rate was 13.56 ZiG per US dollar, but fell to approximately 26.50 ZZG by February 26, 2025. Key lessons for future gold-backed currencies include ensuring full convertibility, strict monetary discipline, market-driven exchange rates, economic stability, and widespread adoption. Zimbabwe's experience serves as a warning. Without sound economic management, even a gold-backed currency can fail. And that ends this report. The Social Security Administration has announced that it will begin issuing expedited retroactive payments and increase monthly benefit payments for millions affected by the windfall elimination provision and government pension offset (GPO). This change, which will benefit over 3.2 million individuals, is part of the Social Security Fairness Act that ends WEP and GPO. Retroactive payments will start in February, and monthly benefits will increase in April. Beneficiaries are advised to wait until April for inquiries regarding payment status. In other news, newly elected Democrat Sam Liccardo has introduced the Meme Act, aimed at banning officials from launching cryptocurrencies, particularly meme coins, following the release of a meme coin by President Trump. The bill would require Trump to return profits from these sales and allow investors to sue for losses. However, the bill faces significant challenges in the Republican-controlled Congress. Regulatory uncertainty persists regarding meme coins, with discussions ongoing about oversight and enforcement. And that ends this report. The United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, UNODC, has praised Iraq's efforts in combating money laundering and organized crime, commending the Ministry of Interior's plans and actions to combat various types of crimes. The director of the office in Iraq, Ali al-Barir, noted that Iraq received an American award last year for its efforts in combating human and drug trafficking, citing the high rate of interception and confiscation. He emphasized that continued efforts against money laundering and terrorist financing will yield positive results, and the UN office will continue its support. Additionally, the Central Bank of Iraq is implementing a significant banking reform strategy aimed at achieving digital transformation. After commencing this journey in 2016, recent cooperation with the government has accelerated the shift towards a digital economy. Digital payment transactions have surged to 48.5% in 2023, reflecting successful plans for banking advancements. The governor of the central bank also announced plans for an Iraqi digital currency to replace traditional paper processes gradually. Furthermore, a new agreement with Emirates Islamic Bank aims to enhance Islamic banking cooperation and provide payment services in UAE dirhams, marking another step towards a diversified currency exchange system. And that ends this report. The shocking history of the Fort Knox gold audits has garnered attention as whispers of a potential audit led by Donald Trump and Elon Musk circulate. This intriguing prospect aims to probe one of the world's most heavily guarded vaults housing the U.S.'s gold reserves. Although it is often said that Fort Knox hasn't been audited since 1974, this overlooks the fact that there have been inspections and verifications by the Government Accountability Office and the Treasury Department's Inspector General. These checks involved inventory reconciliations, yet questions remain about the transparency and accuracy of gold accounting. Research by Jan Nieuwenhuis has brought to light concerns regarding the management of Fort Knox's gold since 1974, leading to inquiries about any discrepancies or unexplained transfers. The potential for a thorough audit, led by prominent figures like Trump and Musk, could bring further scrutiny and clarity to these long-standing questions. As anticipation builds, it remains uncertain whether this initiative will reveal the secrets of Fort Knox, but it is sure to ignite intense discussions about U.S. gold reserves. And that ends this report. The WT Finance podcast recently featured Larry Lepard, managing partner of Equity Management Associates, who discussed the current state of the American economy and the foundational issues contributing to its instability. Lepard emphasized the increasing financialization of the country, which he believes detaches the economy from productive industries and leads to significant malinvestment due to artificially low interest rates. He raised concerns about losing control of the bond market, which could result in a financial crisis. Lepard, an advocate for sound money, expressed optimism about gold as a hedge against inflation, shared his views on Bitcoin's potential as a valuable asset, and speculated on the possibility of sovereign nations investing in Bitcoin. He challenged the economic belief that constant money supply growth is essential for economic expansion, arguing that it leads to inflation and diminished currency value. The podcast also touched on the meme cryptocurrency, DOE, and its potential role in a financial system reset, underscoring a growing distrust in traditional financial institutions. Lepard criticized wealth concentration as a significant issue, exacerbating economic and social instability. Despite the challenging landscape, he presented a hopeful outlook, advocating for a return to sound money principles, investment in productive industries, and responsible fiscal policies to create a stable future. The podcast concluded with a call for individuals to educate themselves on sound money and demand better governance from their leaders, emphasizing that informed citizens can drive essential changes for a sustainable economy. And that ends this report. Social Security update. Lawmakers' new plan would expand benefits by $2,400. Some members of Congress are pushing for a new law that would expand Social Security benefits by $2,400 annually. The bill, the Social Security Expansion Act, would also ensure the program is funded for the next 75 years by applying a payroll tax on higher-income workers. Social Security faces a funding crisis that could see the Social Security Administration run out of money for full payments by the mid-2030s. Millions of Americans rely on the program to fund the bulk of their retirement, but seniors have complained in recent years that the benefit's cost of living adjustment doesn't adequately reflect inflation. Across the board, seniors are facing higher costs for groceries, housing, and health care. Independent Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont, Senator Elizabeth Warren, Democrat from Massachusetts, and Democratic Representatives Jan Schakowsky of Illinois and Val Hoyle of Oregon introduced the bill on Thursday in an attempt to increase benefits for millions of Americans. The act calls for Social Security benefits to rise by $2,400 per year and would be fully funded for the next 75 years through application of a payroll tax on all income above $250,000. That means only 9% or less of American households would see taxes increase in order to fund the higher benefit amount and ensure funds for the next 75 years. At the moment, 9 other Democratic senators and 17 House members have co-sponsored the bill. Before Social Security was created by President Franklin D. Roosevelt in the 1930s, around half of all seniors lived in poverty. Today, the senior poverty rate is down to 9.7%, thanks in large part to Social Security payments, according to the lawmakers. The average Social Security payment is $1,838 per month, with nearly 40% of seniors relying on it for a majority of their income. 1 in 7 counts on it for more than 90% of their income. Treasury's new crypto counselor advocates for swift stablecoin legislation. Tyler Williams, newly appointed crypto counselor to Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, has announced his focus on helping Congress develop appropriate stablecoin legislation as the U.S. accelerates crypto regulation efforts. Williams emphasizes creating clear legal guidelines for stablecoins to boost industry confidence and ensure consistent regulatory approaches across jurisdictions. The Treasury Department's decision to hire Williams signals a willingness to responsibly integrate crypto into the mainstream financial system. Bipartisan support continues building with the FIT21 bill passing the House in May 2024 and Senator Hagerty's Genius Act seeking to place dollar-pegged tokens under Federal Reserve oversight. Tyler Williams recently got appointed as the crypto counselor to Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. However, he has revealed that his first line of actions in this new role will include helping Congress to get stablecoin legislations exactly where they need to be. Williams' comment came during a private digital assets event that was recently held in Washington, D.C. This is as the U.S. accelerates its efforts to regulate a crypto sector that continues to grow at such a remarkable rate. According to Williams, there is an urgent need for a concerted effort towards creating clear legal guidelines and a regulatory environment for stablecoins. He noted that this would not only boost the industry's confidence, but also ensure that both state and federal regulators operate under a consistent framework. Williams, who previously served as a regulatory lawyer for Galaxy Digital, has also shared his optimism for the times ahead. He believes that the Treasury Department's decision to hire him already proves that the U.S. is more than willing to introduce crypto into the mainstream financial system, but in a responsible manner. Speaking at the same event, Representative Brian Stile, a Wisconsin Republican and chair of the House Financial Services Committee's Digital Assets Subcommittee, appeared to share the same optimism as Williams. The lawmaker noted that the legislative push for stablecoin regulation has gained serious momentum and bipartisan support. Despite the notable bipartisan backing that saw the FIT21 pass the House in May 2024, however, Stile insists that the EU needs to outcompete the rest of the world in its support of digital assets if the nation wants to sustain this legislative momentum and see it grow. Interestingly, efforts are also ongoing in the Senate to establish a comprehensive regulatory framework for stablecoins. In early February, Senator Bill Hagerty introduced the Guiding and Establishing National Innovation for U.S. Stablecoins of 2025 Act, Genius Act. This legislation aims to bring U.S. dollar-pegged crypto tokens under Federal Reserve rules. It also seeks to clearly define the roles of federal and state authorities in overseeing stablecoin issuers. The bill has been hailed as addressing a key challenge that has previously hindered regulatory clarity, especially for stablecoins. And that ends this report. The Ministry of Finance announced today, Thursday, the signing of an agreement with Switzerland aimed at preventing double taxation and evasion of income and capital taxes in order to enhance economic cooperation between the two countries. The agreement was initialed on Wednesday, February 26th, with the Iraqi delegation headed by Mohammed Hamza Mustafa, Director General of the Legal Department and Acting Director General of the General Tax Authority, alongside various officials and experts. The agreement seeks to create an attractive investment environment by reducing tax burdens on Swiss companies and investors, thereby strengthening trade relations between Iraq and Switzerland. Additionally, crude oil prices have stabilized near their lowest closing level this year due to various supply-related issues and U.S. President Trump's tariff threats. Gold prices have slightly declined following the rise in the dollar and U.S. Treasury yields, with spot gold prices falling to $2,912.94 per ounce. Meanwhile, the exchange rate of the U.S. dollar against the Iraqi dinar has seen a slight decrease in Baghdad markets, recording 148,850 dinars for every $100. And that ends all the news from DinarRecaps.com. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you have a great Friday.